This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Welcome to the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for...
Oh, is this the podcast?
Right, this is for real. We're doing it this time.
All right.
Take 5. Friday, October 14th. If you're new to the podcast, thank you for tuning in. Finding all of these new listeners are showing up. Want to know why we do things the way we do? I don't know. Because it's the way we've always done it. We give you a joke
if it ain't
on Friday.
broke, why fix it?
Yeah, well, you came looking for us. Don't make us change because you're here.
Although
Anyway.
Sometimes maybe we should.
Yeah.
The dad joke, no. Because the dad joke on Fridays
We're
always
open to
funny.
new
And
ideas.
You were giddy.
I
with
couldn't.
the dad joke
I couldn't even help it this morning. It was so funny. How do you fix a broken jack-o'-lantern with a pumpkin patch?
I think people may think I exaggerate. I really don't. You literally played that joke 10 times.
All week, ready for it.
At one point, I wasn't paying attention, which happens occasionally. And you played the joke, I don't even know how many times until I clued in. I'm like, what, Mark? What?
just
What
kept playing
fixes
it
the
over.
pumpkin? What? I don't know.
The pumpkin patch. I just kept
But
playing
next
it over
week's
and over.
joke, I got first try.
That's right. It's all ready to go.
I nailed
I'm just so
it.
excited about it.
So next week, it'll be my joke, and I'll be super giddy because I know it.
Today's a big day. Belleville Senators are on the ice in Laval tonight to kick off the season. Home opener is tomorrow, and I'm not sure... It's not an exaggeration, but I'm not sure you can overemphasize kind of the importance of the fact that it's starting on schedule in October, if only because of the pandemic. Well, it got shut down early. And then I think when we had a season, didn't it start in January or like things? And then last year,
I think
don't
they started and
remember.
then stopped, and because
Yeah.
last year they broke again, right? They
Yeah,
I
but
say
then we had
broke, they
limitations.
took a break.
And you had to have, the app to get in. So this just seems like now we're going to a hockey game, and it's October.
And there's no lineups, and you don't need your codes.
There we
and you
go.
don't- Yeah.
Yeah. So
No masks.
It's great. So they're going to be on the ice tonight in Laval.
And thank you for indulging me this morning with the picture taking.
Yeah, we have
I
good
know it
pictures up.
drives you crazy.
I like to wear red on Fridays for the military, and the Belleville Senators did us a solid by having red hoodie sweatshirts that I
So it's
bought
a
in the
win-win.
first season.
And I
which
brought
enjoyed.
in my Sens jersey.
Yeah.
And wore it. So we had to take a picture because we had to.
Yeah.
Because we do have to show our support for our team. It's a big weekend, as you just pointed out, for all
Yeah.
those reasons.
I don't have a problem with a picture.
I know.
I don't have a problem with one picture. This whole photo shoot during a morning show, I just find a little
There's this
time
creative
consuming.
side of me, though,
okay.
or OCD, call it what you want, that it has to be certain lighting
Okay. Yeah.
because I am pale and short.
According to one
so-
listener, you're gorgeous.
I know, and thank you, Ted, for that. I appreciate it. I am shorter than you, so not to look like a child next to you, it takes some staging
Yeah.
to do it.
And I
It
take a
takes
step
few
back to kind of create a depth thing.
Yeah,
No, I know.
it takes a few takes to do, and I appreciate your patience doing it because I know it drives
sure
you
I
crazy.
was patient.
I know it drives you crazy, but we got it.
It's funny though.
Great picture.
That's a great picture. I do like it.
And that's
It's
why
worth
I do it.
It's worth it.
It's a great picture. It's up on our socials now of Mark and I in our gear.
So footy, David Foot, longtime broadcaster who works now full-time for the Belleville Senators, is going to become a broadcaster
Still
again
broadcaster,
of sorts.
yes.
Had him on the show this morning to get ready for the big opener tonight and more importantly, the home opener tomorrow.
What's the energy?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good around the team right now. We had about 5 or 6 guys just come back from Ottawa, so they've only been with the team for a couple of days now. So everybody's kind of trying to feel each other out and get ready for an actual competitive game on Friday because these guys have been playing preseason games for about a month and a half now, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the coronation of Dylan to wear the C. Did that come as a surprise? How was that? How did the room feel about that?
I wouldn't say it was a surprise by any means. If you talk to Troy Mann, he'll tell you that once the roster kind of turned over and we realized that our former captain Logan Shaw was not coming back. He took a peek at who was returning, and Heater's probably the most experienced guy on our roster for sure. He's he's a consummate pro. Shows up at the rink every day, ready to work and ready to do the job of an AHL captain, which is to help these younger players, learn to be professionals and and learn what it takes to get to the next level. So I'm not surprised at all. I think it's an outstanding pick, and I'm looking forward to seeing exactly, what kind of wisdom he can impart on these kids throughout the course of the season.
So Saturday is the home opener. For those who have tickets, what's the day going to look like, David? Because I imagine it's not just going to be your run-of-the-mill come to the game. There's going to be things beforehand. Yeah,
there's lots going on. And for those who don't have tickets, I'd suggest you get them. Ticketmaster.ca or the Belleville Sens box office. But we're going to do kind of like what we did for our Fan Fest last season. If anybody was here at our last home game back in April.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah, there's the Wellness Center will be a hub of activity. There's going to be a tons of stuff going on. We've got the players arriving for a red carpet entrance and meet and greet. We've got that set for about 4 o'clock, but you might want to show up a little bit earlier, as some guys are pretty keen to get to the rink 3.5, 4 hours before a 7 o'clock game. So depending on who you're looking for, you might want to show up a little bit earlier, but that will start at 4 o'clock. We're going to have all kinds of stuff going on in the gymnasium here at the Queenie Sports and Wellness Center. Hockey-themed games. We'll have some arts and crafts stations, balloon making, magic show, all that kind of fun stuff. The first 300 CAA members who arrive will get a free hot dog and refreshments from our friends at CAA, and then we'll also have the CAA Members Lounge open in the courtyard just outside of Gate 1, and there'll be an exclusive player meet and greet there. An autograph signing table will be set up, and we'll have some music and all kinds of fun stuff like that to try to get the energy up ahead of our first home game of the season, which is a big one.
Not going to lie, the CAA Lounge is pretty cool. We are members, so we were able to go in there with the Fan Fest last season, and it was pretty neat.
And we should say that, if you have one CAA card in your family, everybody can still get in with that. You don't have to, pass your card out the door and try to beat each other. Everybody can come in together, so that's kind of nice.
Now you tell me. David Foot joins us this morning. Things are also different on the quote-unquote radio because there is now, for Friday night's game, a different way to listen to road games, David.
Yeah, we're really excited about this. It is a change from what we've been doing for the last 5 years, and a trend that is kind of picking up around the league with a lot of teams bringing their broadcast in-house and launching kind of an online stream is basically what we're doing. So if you have the AHL TV subscription, that's not going to change. You'll still be able to watch all 72 of our games via AHL TV, but if you don't, and you're the old school type, you like to listen to the radio broadcast, you'll be able to do that as well. Also through a web stream. So it'll be the Belleville Sens Entertainment Network. It's available through our website at BellevilleSens.com, through our Mixler page as well, and then we're just working on getting it launched on our app too. So that will eventually be the easiest way to access the games, to just fire up our app and press a button, and we'll be on the air. We go on 15 minutes before every game, and in Quinny's own, Brock Ormond, among our rotating
I was going to say some
color analysts.
Familiar voices doing the broadcast, along with Brock yourself.
Myself, Joel Vanderland, who is in our content department here and is kind of our resident stats guy around the team, and then Colin Zappia is a commentator with the Ottawa 67s who has some connections to the Senators. So he's kind of our third man on the broadcast throughout the course of the season. And those guys will be rotating in and out as their schedules allow, because they're all very busy and up to other things. I mean, you guys know Brock is all over the place. Mm-hmm. So we'll be rotating those guys through, and really looking forward to kind of just doing something a little bit different, but it's going to sound the same. It'll sound just like you're listening on the radio.
Is the fact that we're finally getting to start a season, because we haven't for a couple of years, in mid-October and actually running out the season the way it should, has it been a little bit better to organize or at least meet fan expectations as the season begins?
I think so. I think it's always kind of tough, from a marketing perspective early in the season as it is, right? People aren't, they're not thinking about hockey just yet when we're trying to really put a push on in early September and get people excited. But yeah, now, the temperature is dropping, the leaves are changing, it's starting to feel like fall, and it's starting to feel like that time of year. And we're really, looking forward to welcoming fans back to CAA Arena with no restrictions. And, all of that is kind of behind us for the time being at least, and we hope for good. And it's been a normal off season and a normal preparation for the upcoming campaign, and we're just so excited to have everybody back and really looking forward to seeing if this team can build on what they did last year and get through the first round of the playoffs and maybe further.
Yeah, David, I don't know how much you know what's going on up in Ottawa, but of course there was a change with Pierre Maguire out, and he kind of oversaw the operation here. Chicago Wolves won the Calder Cup last year, who is the affiliate of the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, so there's a good NHL team. Oh my gosh, they have the best AHL team. So it's like riches, right? So Ottawa knows the importance of Belleville's growth for the entire franchise. Do you get a feeling from the guys coming back what the expectation is in Ottawa and the role Belleville's going to play this year?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, our role doesn't tend to change too much, right? We're here to support the parent club and to develop players here so that when they make the jump to the NHL, it's a seamless transition and they're able to find success, immediately. I think one of the big things this year, though, that will change is the fact that Ottawa has brought in some of these, legitimate NHL stars. Alex DeBrincat, Claude Giroux. They've got Cam Talbot in net, and I think the hope here is that stability will allow us to keep our roster intact. To have more of our star players being stars here and developing rather than having to go up to Ottawa to fill holes and just play a couple games because guys are injured or they need to get a look at somebody because they don't have the skill up there, already. So I think that's going to be a huge difference for us. And then, you look at guys who just came back. Jacob Bernard-Docker is a young defenseman. He was on the NHL bubble, got sent back to Belleville. Ridley Gregg, who is unproven at the professional level to this point, but a first-round pick in 2020 of the Ottawa Senators and highly touted and almost cracked that Ottawa lineup this season. Guys like that are coming back here with the goal of making the NHL in mind still, much like all those high draft picks that would have played for the Bulls back in the day. These guys have the same goal, and that's all that's really on their minds. Obviously, they want to help Belleville win, and winning games is one of the easiest ways to get yourself noticed and called up. So I think there's a really positive attitude around the entire organization right now, and it's an exciting time to hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah, just talk to Drake and Josh, right? Yeah, you guys go to Belleville, right. Light it up, score 5 goals against Toronto. Drake will tell you that'll get you noticed.
Yes, that's right. Well, we had six Belleville Sens grads are on the Ottawa Senators opening roster.
Yeah.
For their first game on Thursday. So again, that's just a testament to the work that is done by our staff and the players themselves here in Belleville to get that recognition and get that call up.
Before we let you go, we got to do something about me. I have never seen them win. I am the worst. The worst.
It is not good when Mark goes to a game.
Well, I mean, I've probably seen
to a Blue Jays game.
Yeah, right. I bet you I've been to 15, 20 games in the past 4 years, and it tends to be after like a long winning streak. It's like, oh, great, they're coming home. And then
Mark goes to the arena and they lose.
They win Friday, I lose Saturday. So I go Friday. Then I don't know what's got to happen, but people won't let me in when they see me pull in the parking lot.
Well, I think in general it's going to be a goal for this team to be a strong team at home. And, we play 8 games at home in November. We play 6 games at home in January. So we have a couple of home-heavy months that I know Troy and company are hoping will make a big difference in the team's record. And so hopefully, we can wipe that jinx off of you, Mark. And it won't
nice and early, if you don't mind. Nice and early.
Right.
Yes, go in November.
And I'll just say one more time that, one of the best ways to help the team have a better record at home is to pack the building and support them and get behind them and show them that they're wanted here and that the team is, as we've been saying all summer long, a part of this community. And, everybody likes a winner. So we're going to do our best to do that for all 72 games, but especially here at CAA Arena.
Absolutely. And we started off this week and the home opener again Saturday. The red carpet rolls out about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can head on down, meet some of the players before the game. It's going to be a great time. Get your tickets through Ticketmaster and the ticket box office through the CAA Arena. Thank you, David.
Of course, guys, anytime.
BellevilleSens.com. And Ticketmaster.ca will give you a chance to get your tickets for tomorrow if you don't have them. If you're listening afternoon today, you missed a chance to win them free with Cole Naylor. He was out and about at hidden locations. If you're listening before noon, tune in and hear it.
Yes, he's going to give clues to where he is. And that Fan Fest, it's worth it to be there early and take that in. It was a lot of fun. Andy Forgey performed last time.
It's all good Belleville stuff.
Of that. Lots of stuff for the kids. And if you're a CAA member, as David pointed out, a little more intimate meet and greet with the players.
Make it worthwhile.
And you get popcorn.
I like it.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
So good luck with that. Pair with Laval. We should be able to take both of those. That it kind of gives you the barometer of where you are. Like I know Adirondack was great last year, and the Admirals, and Syracuse. You wonder, sort of not sure where we're going to be with them. Toronto's always going to be Toronto. Belleville's always going to be a rivalry, but you always figure Laval's going to be down there in the standings. So here's hoping. Don't
quote me on this, but it feels like we played them the most. So it's kind of and I'm not saying we do. It just, sorry. It just seems like we do. It's always Laval. So it is a good 7 or 8 times a year. Yeah, I think you're right. It is a good barometer. It is a good indicator. It goes back and forth. Who's going to win? It's very exciting hockey.
Should be a great team this year. Much better than, say, a couple of years ago. And then because at the pandemic, we're all still stinging from 2020 when they were
so close.
5th team in the whole AHL, leading the division, and then the pandemic shut it down before the playoffs. And then made the playoffs last year, so on the upswing, as we like to say. And Ottawa lost their opener to Buffalo yesterday. That was a bit of a tough one. But Drake Batherson, I think, picked up an assist. And so I still like to see where the guys are in the majors.
And that's what's so cool about having this team here. Because you see them here first. And then, when they do make it to the majors, it's like, that's so awesome. I saw that guy. You feel connected. And we've said that to David, too. You connect with these players here. So when they move on, you're that much more excited seeing them at the big show.
So get your tickets. It's going to be a big deal going on tomorrow at the CAA Arena. We wish them all the best. We'll get footy on the show and the podcast throughout the season as it gets deeper into it. It's the Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Up on Monday, we're going to play Beat the Bank. When we get back in, could be as much as $10,000.
Do you think we'll have our high-low?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be nailed down this afternoon with Emily or not.
It was exciting this morning.
So maybe we'll be handing out a whole bunch of cash on Monday.
Wouldn't that be great?
We'll find out.
Especially if we win a lot of cash tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get a ticket. Charity and I are going to get a ticket on the Lotto Max.
You said 70 million?
70 million.
See, I don't follow it like you do, so I just go by what you tell me.
Well, it's on the app.
It's on your app, yes. It's on your phone. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. I just, when you tell me it's 70 million, I'm like, okay, now I need to go buy a ticket.
When you're closer to retirement like I am, you look for every opportunity to get free cash. And OLG it's not free, but they hand it out like every night. So that's how I'm aware of it.
So we'll go get a ticket.
We'll get a ticket.
We will get a ticket.
We will get a ticket. We will sign it.
All right. And hopefully we will be back on Monday.
And we don't know who will be here on Monday. If it lines up right. Have a good weekend, everybody. It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Talk to you Monday morning at 95.5 Hits FM, whether we win or not. We'll be here.